Hey everyone, it's me Lone. Hope you're doing alright. Big news coming out of the Xbox camp today that's affecting all Xbox Game Studios games, including Bethesda games, from 2023 onwards. Specifically, the price of Xbox first-party full-price games are going to be increasing from their regular price of $59.99 or $60 USD to a new price of $69.99 or $70 USD. For simplicity, we're just going to be referring to them as $60 and $70 respectively. We're going to cover everything you need to know in today's video, so if you enjoy it, please do like. It helps the channel out a bunch. And also, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. So all sources are linked in the description below, and we're going to be starting off reading verbatim a statement by Microsoft on the matter. So this is what they had to say. We've held on price increases until after the holidays so families can enjoy the gift of gaming. Starting in 2023, our new built-for-next-gen full-price games, including Forza Motorsport, Redfall, and Starfield, will launch at $69.99 USD on all platforms. This price reflects the content, scale, and technical complexity of these titles. As with all games developed by our teams at Xbox, they will also be available with Game Pass the same day they launch. So we don't know whether Game Pass is also going to increase in price. I think it's going to eventually. I'll talk about that in a second. And we also don't know how this is affecting the prices of games in other territories, like, where I live, Australia or Japan or Brazil, for instance. We have literally no idea. So if it does come out, I'll probably cover it on this channel, but all we know right now is the price of US games are going to be increasing to that $70 price point, at least when you're purchasing them outright. Now, I want to start off by saying, and this is not me supporting it, by the way, just let me be very clear, but I want to start off by saying no one should be surprised by this. Xbox is not the first company to come out and increase their games to that $70 price point. I believe that was 1 or 2 years back at the start of this console generation by probably Take-Two with a 2K title, I believe. But if it wasn't them, since then, obviously, Ubisoft has increased the price of their games. PlayStation has increased the price of their games. So Xbox held on for a little bit, but really they're just following suit, from those other companies. And also as well, Phil Spencer, that is, did drop a hint back in October that these price increases were probably going to happen. I think he did that to try and, prep everyone to kind of say, hey, something is coming. Don't let it come out of the blue and just hit you out of nowhere when it eventually does drop. So this is what he had to say back in October. Phil said, "We've held price on our console, we've held price on games and our subscription. I don't think we'll be able to do that forever. I do think at some point we'll have to raise some prices on certain things." And lo and behold, we're now in December and we know the prices of their games are going to increase. And I suspect as well, eventually, we're probably going to see the prices of Xbox consoles increase too, because I believe they're losing like $200 on every Xbox Series X sold, which is just insane. We know that's how the business usually works, and they make all their money back in software and DLC and all that kind of stuff. Getting that 30% from other companies selling on their platform. So I think that's going to come at some stage. Like, the prices of Xboxes are probably going to increase. And as I said, the price of Game Pass is probably going to increase. All these reasons that are affecting and influencing companies to increase the prices of their games are also affecting Game Pass, are also affecting the price of their consoles. And really, it comes down to a few things. Like right now, inflation, as you probably know, is at crazy high levels. And it's affecting just prices of everything to insane levels, and companies are feeling the pinch, and one way they can get around that a little bit is by increasing the prices of their products. It's always the case that the costs are passed on back to the consumer. It sucks, but that's how they do business. That's the reality of the corporate world. And we also know that the prices of games have stayed stagnant, at least before this console generation. They stayed stagnant for a fairly long time, and the price of or the cost of games development kept burgeoning, kept increasing to ridiculous levels, hundreds of millions of dollars. Something had to give eventually. Now, it's not like, that was in a vacuum. We also saw the introduction of microtransactions and DLC and all that kind of stuff. So it's not like the money wasn't being made up somewhere else. It absolutely was. But the prices of games in and of themselves didn't increase. And again, this was probably to be expected. But it still sucks. Like, there's no other way to sugarcoat it. And I apologize if I made it seem like I was trying to sugarcoat it. But I'm not. It sucks. It sucks to see the prices of some of your favorite games and your favorite piece of medium, that being games, increase. Like, it's when the prices of everything else increasing around you, for that to increase as well, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt you. I just mentioned that inflation is affecting games companies. Do you know who it's also affecting? It's affecting us. It's affecting the consumers. It's affecting all of us. The cost of living right now is insane. I talked about this in a previous video. The prices of every product around you, every electrical, whatever it might be, the gas, every kind of cost of living, it's all increasing, and inflation is having an impact on that. So to see games increase as well, something that's an optional medium at the end of the day, something has to give. It might mean that you might buy less games overall. Yes, $10 USD for one game might not seem like much, but it adds up over time. So that absolutely sucks. Even like, the interest rates right now. If you're in a mortgage, once you go from your fixed to variable rate loan, and I know some of you are going to be doing that next year because you're forced to, our repayments are going up by like $500, $1,000 a month, whatever it might be, $2,000, $3,000, like everything is just costing more. So this sucks. There is no other way to put it. Yes, it's understandable why games companies are doing this. It's not a surprise. It's to be expected, but it still sucks for us. There is no other way to put it. But I want to say as well, okay, spare a thought for countries outside of the US. I know like the games industry is predominantly based in the US, at least when it comes to the games companies and where they're headquartered. A lot of these news, they're US centric, right? And we know the price of US games now are going to be increasing as a result of that. But spare a thought for countries like in Australia, for instance. We've been paying out the arse for games for a while now. For instance, the price of full price PS5 games right now, like God of War Ragnarok and Horizon Forbidden West, currently costs around $125, even $135. Callisto Protocol on PS5 in Australia is currently at $135 AUD. And when you do the direct conversion with the exchange rate, that's actually from $80 to $90 USD. Depends on the day, depends on the rate, but that's what we're paying right now. So in the US, you're now going from $60 to $70. That is still $10 to $20 less than what we're paying in Australia. And we don't have it the worst. I know countries like Brazil, for instance, are even worse when it comes to the price of their games. And like consumers are effectively priced out of that industry unless they have a really, really good job in that country. And it's not just Brazil, it's other countries as well. So spare a thought for us, because we might be getting more price increases as a result of this when it comes to Xbox games specifically. But thankfully though, like we do have Game Pass. Game Pass is the one saving grace, as that Xbox statement said. All these titles are still going to be coming to Game Pass first and foremost. So I think right now in the US, it's $9.99 a month. So that's still a decent price. I think it's $9.99. Someone correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But as I mentioned, that's probably going to increase too. Like, don't be surprised come next year, we see Game Pass, that monthly subscription go from $9.99 to like $12.99, maybe even $15.99. And again, prices of Xboxes are probably going to increase as well. This is just where the industry is heading. It sucks, but it's reality a little bit. And I don't know how else to put it. Like, I feel I'm privileged in the position that I am, because if I do want to cover a game for my channel and still enjoy it at the same time because I like what I do, I can ask a games company for a code, right? So I can't sit here and say it's fine, it's all good, because that's just wrong with me. It's not a fair thing to say. For the people out there that are young and might only have a part-time job, or they're struggling with their finances at the moment, they have kids and they're trying to meet all these bills. Like look at all of you in the UK. Your electricity prices are going through the roof right now. You're freezing and you can't afford to heat your house, and you're talking about paying more price when it comes to games. It sucks. You can't sugarcoat it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I don't know what else to say about the matter, to be honest. But yeah, I look forward to engaging with you in the comments. I was going to tack on at the end of this video, by the way, I was going to tack on a discussion about Bethesda and ZeniMax QA staff unionizing. I can't pronounce that word. They formed a union out of nowhere yesterday, and we didn't hear anything about it. I might make a separate standalone video about that though. So if you want to see that from me, let me know in the comments, and that'll probably be my next video coming out a day after this one. So hopefully you enjoyed that one when it comes out. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, and until next time, this has been Lone. Please take care of yourselves, and would you kindly keep fighting the good fight.